Honey, I told you not to run off. Where did you go? I can't see you from here.
Sorry, Mom. I'm already on the train, lol. I'm going to see if I can look at the conductor's cabin.
Tim, don't wander too far. I need you to stay where I can find you.
Just going to the front car. I want to see all the buttons and controls. Promise I'll be back soon.
Okay, but be quick. We're only going 4 stops. I don't want you getting lost.
I won't get lost, Mom. I'm 10 now, remember? Big boy status.
Yes, I remember your birthday last month, Mr. Big Boy. Just be careful. Don't bother the conductor.
I won't. Hey, if you see anything cool out your window, send me pictures, okay?
Will do. The sunset over the mountains might be nice if the clouds clear.
Awesome! Almost at the front now. Going through the next door. We'll text you what I see. Mom, I have a question.
What's wrong, Tim?
Why is there nobody else on the train? Like nobody.
What do you mean?
This whole car is completely empty, and I can't find the conductor anywhere. I knocked on the cabin door, but nobody answered.
That is strange. Come back to our car then.
I will. Is anyone in your car?
Actually, now that you mention it, it is pretty empty for this time of day.
See? Weird, right? It should be packed right now.
You're right. Rush hour should be much busier. Let me check something.
What are you checking?
Our location. I want to make sure we got on the right train.
Are we on the wrong train?
Give me a minute. Just checking Google Maps.
Okay. Mom, the lights just flickered in here. Is that happening in your car too?
Tim, according to the map, we're going the complete opposite way.
What?
We're heading away from Oak Ridge. We're going northwest into some kind of wilderness area.
But that can't be right. We checked the platform and everything.
That's what I'm stumped about too. But the blue dot is definitely moving away from the city. There shouldn't even be train tracks where we're going.
Okay, well, I don't want to be alone anymore then. I'm coming back to you.
Good idea.
Uh-oh, something's wrong with the door.
What door?
The door to get out of this carriage. It's locked or something. It won't open at all.
Are you sure you're pushing the right way?
Yes! I'm not stupid, Mom. It's completely stuck, and the handle feels super cold. Like freezing cold. It hurt my hand to touch it.
Hang on, I'll come get you. Oh my god, I'm trying the door out of my carriage no too, and looks like you're right. It's sealed shut, and it's absolutely freezing. I've never felt metal this cold before.
What's happening, Mom? I'm really scared now.
It's okay, Tim. We'll figure this out. I'm going to try calling emergency services.
The lights keep flickering in here, and it smells really bad now, like something dead.
Stay calm, sweetheart. I'm trying 911 now.
Is it working?
No, it won't connect. Just static.
Oh god, we're isolated. The train's making odd noises now too, like some kind of a groaning sound.
I heard it too. It almost sounded like, I don't know, like something in pain.
Mom, I can see something outside my window.
What is it?
There are other trains, but they look messed up, like they crashed or something.
Can you take a picture?
I'll try. It's really dark outside now. Do you see them?
Oh my goodness, you're right. I can see them from my window too.
Mom, what is that red stuff dripping from them? It looks like blood. Can trains bleed, Mom?
No, sweetheart. Trains can't bleed. I don't know what that is.
Wait, why are we stopping?
I feel it too. We're slowing down.
Mom, I don't want to be here. I want to go home. Please get me out of here.
I'm going to find a way to you, Tim. I promise. There has to be another way between the cars.
Mom, the train stopped. We're not moving anymore.
Crap. I'm looking for a train attendant or anyone who works here.
Mom, the smell is getting worse. And there's a fleshy sound coming from the front of the train.
Okay, Tim. Listen to me. Is there anywhere you can hide?
Hide? From what?
Just as a precaution. Is there somewhere safe you can go?
I guess under the seats maybe? Or in the bathroom?
The bathroom would be good. Does it lock?
Yeah, I think so. Should I go there now?
Yes. Go lock yourself in. Don't come out until I tell you. I'm trying to contact emergency services again. And I'm looking for a way to get to you.
Okay, I'm in the bathroom now. The door locks. But Mom, I can hear something in the car now. Something moving around.
Can you see what it is?
No, the bathroom has no window to the car. But it sounds big. And it's making this grinding noise. Like metal scraping on metal.
Stay absolutely quiet, Tim. Don't make any noise.
I can't help it. I'm so scared.
I know, baby. I'm scared too. But I need you to be as quiet as possible.
I'll try. The thing is getting closer to the bathroom. I can hear it right outside the door. It's sniffing or something.
Don't move. Don't make any sound. I'm trying to think of how to get to you.
Mom, it's trying the door handle. The metal is getting cold again. Like the door between cars. It's so cold it hurts.
Is the door holding?
For now. But the lock is making cracking sounds. Like the metal is freezing.
I'm going to try breaking the window. Maybe I can climb outside and get to your car.
Hurry, Mom. I don't think the door will last much longer.
I'm trying, baby. The window won't break. It's like it's not even glass. I hit it with the fire extinguisher and nothing happened.
Phew. I think it's going away. The sounds are moving away from the door. Oh crap, Mom. The train's moving again.
Doesn't matter. Just stay where you are. I'm going to keep trying to find a way to you. Tim, are you okay? The train just stopped so suddenly. I got thrown against the seats.
I'm here. Sorry. My phone slid under the seat. I had to find it.
Oh, thank God. Are you hurt?
Just bumped my knee. But I'm okay. What even happened? Why did we stop again like that?
Literally, it felt like an emergency brake, but way more violent than before.
Mom, do you hear that?
Hear what?
That sound. Coming from the front of the train again. It sounds like groaning, like metal bending, but also kind of like...
Like what?
Like it's in pain or something. Like the train is hurting.
That doesn't make sense, Tim. Trains don't feel pain.
I know, but that's what it sounds like. It's getting louder.
Tim, I need you to focus. Are you still in the bathroom?
No, I came out when the train stopped. That's how I dropped my phone. Holy crap. Mom, there's something outside the train.
Is it people? Which side?
By the front right section. Something's coming out. Let me take a picture. Mom, what is that?
I'm not sure. It looks like maybe a piece of the train that broke off.
That's not a piece of the train. It's moving.
Tim, go back to the bathroom now. Lock the door. I think that thing is trying to lure you out into the open.
I'm going. I'm running. The thing is getting bigger. It's coming out more. I'm in the bathroom now. Door is locked. But Mom, we can't just keep doing this. We need to find a way off the train.
Agreed. We need to think clearly. Remember how I taught you to handle emergencies?
Breathe slow. Count to 10. Think about what to do.
That's right. Now I need you to be very quiet. Don't make any sound at all. We can't escape if you're dead.
I'll try. But the thing is in my carriage now. I can hear it again, slithering down the aisle. And there's that smell again, but stronger. Gosh, Mom, what kind of train is this?
Stay absolutely still. Don't even whisper.
It's moving down the aisle. I think it's checking each row.
It's hunting.
You think it's hunting us?
Definitely.
Oh my God, Mom. Am I gonna die? It's getting closer to the bathroom.
Move away from the door.
I am. I'm in the corner, but it's right outside now. I can see something through the crack under the door.
What does it look like?
Red, shiny, with metal pieces. Mom, it has a face.
A face? What kind of face?
It looks like Thomas.
Thomas? Like the cartoon train?
Yes, but evil. Downright horrific. Like someone tried to make Thomas but didn't know what a face should look like.
Tim, are you seeing things?
No, Mom! And it's coming back. It's sniffing at the door. I think it can smell me.
Is there anything in there you can use to defend yourself?
No, just toilet paper and soap. The lock is breaking. Mom, help me.
Tim, I'm trying to get to you. I'm hitting the door of my carriage with everything I can find. It won't budge. Oh my. Tim, I can hear it. That sound. I see it crawling about outside. It's huge. Part train, part something else. It's dripping with that red stuff. I can see its face. That twisted Thomas face. Oh crap. I shouldn't have looked. It just saw me, Tim.
Ms. Thompson, this is Detective Inspector Harlow Mason, Millhaven Police Department. I need to speak with you regarding train 715 from Millhaven to Oak Ridge, the one that departed 2 weeks ago on the 24th.
Detective Inspector Mason. Yes, I'm familiar with the incident. What can I help you with?
I understand you're the lead conductor for that route, though you weren't on duty that evening.
That's correct. I was scheduled but called in sick. Food poisoning. My replacement was Samuel Peters.
That's the problem, Ms. Thompson. We can't locate Mr. Peters, or the train, or any of the passengers.
I don't understand. The train is missing?
Completely. No GPS signal, no communications. It's as if it vanished.
That's impossible. Trains don't just disappear.
And yet this is the third such incident in 3 months. All on the same route, all disappearing in the same general area.
Third? I wasn't aware of other disappearances.
That's because your company has kept it quiet, classified as mechanical failures and routing errors.
I don't know anything about this. I swear.
I believe you. That's why I'm contacting you directly. I need information your superiors aren't providing.
What kind of information?
Passenger manifests, maintenance records, GPS data from previous trains, anything unusual about that route.
I can try to help, but why would the company hide this?
That's what I intend to find out. This isn't just about missing trains anymore. There were people on board, families.
I understand. There was a mother and son booked on that train. I remember seeing their reservation.
Eleanor and Timothy Browning. Yes, we've been in contact with Mr. Browning. He's desperate for answers.
I'll help however I can, but I should warn you, there have been strange things happening on that route.
What kind of strange things?
Equipment malfunctions, unexplained temperature drops, and several conductors have requested transfers, saying they heard voices or felt like they were being watched.
When did this start?
About 6 months ago, after they expanded the line through Blackwood Forest.
The mining territory?
Yes, they cut through an old section to create a shortcut.
I need you to send Hand me everything you have, and meet me tomorrow. We need to discuss this in person.
I'll bring what I can, but Inspector,
Yes?
be careful who you trust at the company. Something isn't right, and I think they know more than they're saying.
I appreciate the warning. See you tomorrow. Don't speak to anyone about this. We'll discuss that tomorrow too. Keep this conversation between us.
Understood. I'll see you tomorrow.
Ms. Thompson, I'm sending through a formal request for all records related to the missing trains. I need everything, no exceptions.
I've compiled what I could access, but there are some files only senior management can retrieve.
I don't care about protocol right now. 3 trains are missing, dozens of passengers unaccounted for. Management will have to deal with my request.
I understand the urgency. I've attached the maintenance logs for all 3 trains. Nothing unusual was reported before departure. All systems were functioning normally.
What about passenger manifestos?
Attached those as well. All 3 trains were at less than half capacity, which is unusual for the evening routes.
Interesting. And the GPS tracking data?
That's where things get peculiar. Each train follows the normal route up to a specific point, then simply vanishes from tracking.
Define vanishes.
1 second it's there, the next it's gone. No deceleration, no system failure warnings, just gone.
At exactly the same coordinates?
Yes, all 3 disappeared at exactly the same spot, near the new Black Ridge Tunnel. It's a recently excavated section. We only started running trains through there 6 months ago.
What's out there?
Nothing. That's what's so odd about all this. It's just plain old wilderness and mining territory, abandoned decades ago.
Have recovery teams been sent?
Yes, several. They found nothing. No wreckage, no signs of the trains at all.
That just can't be true, though.
I couldn't agree more. That's why I started digging deeper.
And?
There's something else I haven't reported officially. Something that might get me fired.
You have my word, it stays between us.
We've been receiving transmissions from the missing trains.
Go on.
Garbled messages through the emergency communication systems. They sound like distress calls, but mixed with sounds. Sounds no human should make.
Do you have recordings?
I've attached the only one I managed to save. The others were deleted from the system. Management claimed they were system errors.
I'll have our tech team analyze it. In the meantime, I'm sending you something. This is Oak Ridge Station, where the first missing train should have arrived.
It's empty.
Exactly, yet this was taken at 9 o'clock. The exact same footage then suddenly jumps to 9:15. The footage cuts out for exactly 15 minutes. At the precise time the train should have arrived.
That can't be a coincidence.
No, and it happened at all 3 destination stations, for all 3 missing trains.
Inspector, there's something else. Several station workers have reported seeing these trains.
The missing ones?
Yes, with the same train numbers, passing through stations they shouldn't be on.
When?
Late at night, always after midnight, but the descriptions are disturbing.
How so?
They said the trains looked damaged. The exteriors were streaked with something. It looked like rust from a distance, but had the consistency of something wet, something organic.
And these reports are recent?
Yes, the most recent was 3 nights ago, at the Millhaven West platform. A security guard reported it.
I want to speak with these witnesses.
I've compiled their contact information, but I should warn you, some of them have been affected.
Affected how?
Nightmares, severe anxiety. One quit his job and moved away.
Because of what they saw?
Not just that. They claim the trains watch them.
Watch them?
Several conductors have refused to work that route. They report dreams of a train with a face that stares at them through their bedroom windows at night, watching them as they sleep.
That's not great, is it?
I know how it sounds. I wouldn't believe it myself if I hadn't.
If you hadn't what?
Had the dreams too. After I started investigating, it's always the same. A train with a distorted face, pressed against my window, smiling.
I understand this is difficult, but I need you to not go crazy. We need evidence, not nightmares.
Of course, I'm sorry.
Don't apologize. Just help me solve this. I've got something else to share with you. We managed to extract location data from Eleanor Browning's phone.
The mother from the most recent disappearance?
Yes, her final text messages were sent from coordinates where no track exists, deep in the forest beyond the Black Ridge Tunnel.
What? There's no way for a train to get there.
Yet it did, or at least her phone did.
This is beyond anything I expected. I thought we were dealing with some kind of corporate cover-up, but this is something else entirely.
I think we need to look at the history of that area, the mining territory. When was the tunnel constructed?
The original tunnel was surveyed in 1945, but abandoned abandoned shortly after. The new one follows the same path but with modern engineering. Actually, I found something in the archives about the original project. This is the original survey team.
Who's the man on the far right?
Thomas Engel. He was the lead engineer, but he disappeared before the project was completed.
Disappeared?
Yes. The official record says he abandoned the project, but I found his journals in our archives.
What did they say?
They start normal enough. Technical notes, calculations, but then they change. He becomes obsessed with creating what he called a perfect fusion.
Fusion of what?
Machine and organism. He wrote about trains as if they were living things. That could be awakened.
That sounds unhinged.
It gets worse. His final entry is the most disturbing. I have found it at last. Deep in the caves beneath the mountain, something ancient, something willing. It speaks to me in dreams now, shows me how to make them live. The perfect fusion is within reach. The children will love my creation. Thomas will bring them joy and take them on wonderful journeys they never expected.
Thomas, as in the children's character?
That's what's so strange. The character wasn't created until years later, but here he is, referencing it.
Or naming his creation after himself.
There's one more thing. The journal mentions something he found in the caves. Something ancient and willing.
Do we know what he found?
No, the journal ends there, and Engel was never seen again.
We need to get to those caves, see what he found.
I was afraid you'd say that. The entrance is through the new tunnel, but all train service has been suspended on that route.
Not officially, I bet.
No, the company is claiming track maintenance. They don't want panic.
Then we'll talk to survivors first, get a better understanding of what we're dealing with, and then go from there.
Sounds like a plan, Inspector.
Thank you all for joining this secure chat. I apologize for the secrecy, but it's necessary for your protection. My name is Inspector Harlow Mason. I'm investigating the recent train disappearances. With me is Florence Thompson from Transit Authority.
Hello, everyone.
I've invited you all because you've experienced something similar. You're all survivors, you see. For privacy, I'll refer to you as survivors A through D when addressing you collectively. But please use your real names when responding. Survivor A, Maylin. Survivor B, Edward Holloway. Survivor C, Fatima Nassar. Survivor D, Carlos Rodriguez. I need you to share your experiences. No detail is too small or insignificant.
I'm not sure I want to revisit this.
I understand your reluctance. I've been trying to forget what happened.
We all have.
But if it helps prevent this from happening to others?
Exactly. 3 more trains have vanished. The most recent just 2 weeks ago, with a mother and her young son aboard.
Oh goodness, that's awful.
Those poor people.
Then let's start at the beginning. When did you board your trains?
Mine was the 6:15 p.m. from Millhaven to Oak Ridge, 3 months ago.
7:30 p.m., same route, about 10 weeks ago.
5:45 p.m. Millhaven Express to Oak Ridge, 8 weeks ago.
8:05 p.m. Millhaven to Oak Ridge via Blackridge, just 6 weeks ago.
All the same route, but different times.
Was there anything unusual when you boarded?
Nothing. It was a completely normal train.
Mine was crowded at first, business as usual.
Same here. Nothing strange initially.
Mine was less crowded, but it was later in the evening.
When did things change?
About 30 minutes in, I spilled coffee on my shirt, so I went to the bathroom to change. I was in there maybe 5-10 minutes. When I came out, the carriage was empty.
Similar for me. I went to the luggage compartment to get my anxiety medication. When I returned, everyone was gone.
I have claustrophobia, so I moved to the rear car, which was nearly empty. Eventually, everyone else left that car too. I thought they just moved to more populated cars.
I'm a doctor. It was flu season. I deliberately chose an empty car to avoid potential contagion. I didn't realize something was wrong until later.
So you were all separated from other passengers, alone in your respective cars.
That's certainly a pattern.
What happened next?
The train started to feel different. The movements weren't smooth anymore, more like slithering. And the walls?
They changed. The metal surfaces became slick, covered in some kind of red fluid.
Yes, like it was sweating or bleeding.
From a medical perspective, it resembled hemoglobin, but the chemical composition isn't definitively organic. Not human, not animal, not anything I've seen before.
Did you take any pictures?
I tried. Creepy as hell, right?
I didn't take photos, but I heard something over the PA system.
What did you hear?
A voice, not human, like an animal, trying and failing to speak human, but also somehow quite childlike. It was announcing stations. Next stop, Crimson Junction, arriving at Hollow Maw Terminal. Places that don't exist.
None of those stations are on our routes.
The temperature dropped drastically in my car. I could see my breath, the windows frosted over, and then we stopped. Outside was a graveyard.
Of trains. I saw it too. Dozens of wrecked train cars, all covered in that same red substance. Some looked like they'd been eaten.
Eaten?
Parts were missing, but not broken off. More like digested. The edges were smooth, dissolved.
What happened after the train stopped?
The mechanical sounds changed. They became organic, like groaning.
I heard it too. And footsteps. Something slithering past the train windows. Searching!
It was hunting. I could feel it. It was looking for us.
The lights went out in my car, and I saw it, or part of it, moving past my window. A massive serpentine body, with what looked like a face on the end of it.
How did you escape?
That's the strangest part. I was texting my boyfriend goodbye. I was sure I was going to die. Then suddenly, I was standing at an abandoned rural station, miles from anywhere. No memory of how I got there.
Same for me. I was texting my wife, then found myself at a station I didn't recognize. Had to walk 3 miles to the nearest town.
I was messaging my sister, then woke up at a station, different from Edward's though, an old abandoned platform.
I was documenting what I was seeing in my notes app, then found myself at Westfield Station, which is nowhere near the route I should have been on.
This matches nothing in our transportation protocols. People don't just appear at random stations.
Did any of you notice anything strange with your phones afterward?
Yes, there were photos I didn't take, corrupted images.
I had something similar too.
And me.
These all show the same entity, just from different angles, parts of the same thing.
What exactly is this thing, detective?
That's what we're trying to figure out.
I believe it's connected to Thomas Engel, the engineer from 1945, and whatever he found in those caves.
So what now? Why have you brought us together?
Because we need to stop it, and you four are the only ones who've encountered it and survived. We need to understand why.
I think I know.
Go on.
It separates people, isolates them. We were all alone when it happened.
She's right. Everyone who disappeared was with someone else. Families, couples, groups.
A predator that separates prey from the herd. Classic hunting behavior.
But why did it let you go?
I've been thinking about that. I think it was studying us, learning.
Like a parasite testing compatibility.
Or collecting information.
Is it getting stronger? Learning how to hunt more effectively?
The most recent disappearance was the most complete. No survivors. It's definitely evolving.
Which is why we need to act now, before it takes more people. Thank you all for your time. This will help us greatly in our mission to end this thing. Those survivor accounts were disturbing to say the least.
I haven't been able to sleep since hearing them. The similarities are too precise to be coincidence.
Agreed, especially the separation pattern. Whatever this thing is, it deliberately isolates its victims.
I've been doing more research into Thomas Engel. His history is bizarre. Before working on the railway, he was briefly institutionalized.
For what?
It's similar to what we already knew, claiming machines could be made alive. He believed trains had souls that could be awakened.
Sounds like standard delusions.
Except for one thing. Several of his colleagues reported the same dreams. After working with him,
Mass hysteria?
perhaps. But lucky for us, there's a local folklore expert who specializes in regional myths. She studied the legends around the Black Ridge area for decades.
And?
I think we should talk to her. I'll set up a secure chat.
Fine by me. We need all the information we can get.
Ms. Winters?
Yes, I'm here. Thank you for contacting me.
This is Florence Thompson from Transit Authority and Inspector Harlow Mason.
Ms. Winters, we appreciate your time.
I understand you're investigating the train disappearances. Florence briefed me on the basics.
That's correct. We believe there may be a historical or folkloric component, based on witness accounts.
I'm not surprised. The Black Ridge area has always been a dark place, so much so that even the local indigenous people avoided it. They called it the hunting ground, home to a creature they named the Isolator.
The Isolator?
Yes. According to legend, it was an ancient predator that hunted by separating its prey from the group. Data goes back all the way to a mining journal from 1887, one of the first European accounts of the legend.
That's an awfully specific hunting method. Matches our survivor accounts exactly.
Indeed. The legends say it would create illusions, or possess animals to lure individual tribe members away. Once isolated, they would never be seen again.
What else do the legends say about it?
That it was ancient, predating human settlement, and that it could adapt.
Adapt?
Take on characteristics of its prey. Incorporate them somehow. The tribes believed consuming its victims allowed it to absorb their knowledge.
This connects to something else we've found. When railroad construction began in the 1880s, multiple workers reported strange experiences.
Yes, I've documented those as well. Many reported nightmares of a voice promising to make them part of something greater. Before they disappeared, the construction was actually halted several times. Too many workers vanished or refused to return to the site.
And what about the 1945 survey, led by Thomas Engel?
Engel's case is particularly fascinating. You see, his personal journal only shows a man's decline into madness. The handwriting deteriorates as the entries progress.
I've found similar pages in our archives. He describes communicating with something he called the Ancient One beneath the mountain. It showed him visions of perfect union between flesh and steel.
This all sounds, forgive me, but rather fantastical.
I understand your skepticism, Inspector, but consider this. This was discovered during the original tunnel excavation. Does it look familiar?
It matches the descriptions from the survivors and the corrupted images on their phones.
I'm starting to see why you specialized in this region, Ms. Winters.
The stories have always fascinated me, but I never truly believed them until now.
There's more, you know. I've discovered a pattern in the disappearances. They're occurring exactly 1 lunar month apart. The next would be due in 3 days.
That aligns with the legends as well. The isolator supposedly required regular feeding cycles, tied to lunar phases.
Just like our missing trains.
So we have a creature from indigenous legend that separates people from groups, feeds on lunar cycles, and now apparently hijacks trains?
The legends say it adapts, takes on aspects of its environment. If it's been dormant for decades or centuries,
And was awakened by the new tunnel construction.
It would adapt to the most dominant presence in its territory, the trains.
Still, how does a prehistoric creature hijack modern technology?
What if Thomas Engel's experiments had something to do with it? He was obsessed with fusing organic and mechanical components.
and if he found this dormant entity, attempted to use it in his work,
It could have created some kind of hybrid, a fusion of the ancient predator and train technology, using Engel's knowledge.
That would explain the organic mechanical nature described by the survivors.
and the childlike voice heard over the PA system. The legends say it could mimic its prey, to lure others.
Like Thomas the Tank Engine, a friendly, trusted image.
Good God. Wait! Another train has been scheduled for that route.
What? I thought you shut down that line.
I did. Or I tried to, but someone overrode my authority.
Who?
That's the problem. The authorization code that was used belongs to station manager Robert Phillips, who died 3 weeks ago.
Jesus.
Not if what we're dealing with is what I think it is. The isolator doesn't just take bodies, it takes knowledge, identities.
You're saying it's using Phillips' credentials? His knowledge of our systems?
It's possible, if it absorbed him.
When is this train scheduled to depart?
Tomorrow night, 10:15 p.m. from Millhaven.
We need to stop it. Set up surveillance. Intercept it before it reaches the tunnel.
I wouldn't recommend direct confrontation. According to the legends, the isolator can read the minds of those hunting it. It will always ensure they remain separated from help.
So what do you suggest?
I'm not sure. The legends don't offer much in terms of defeating it, only avoiding it.
We can't just let another train disappear. There will be people on board.
What if we evacuate the train before it reaches the tunnel?
It might work, but you'd need a reason that wouldn't cause panic.
A technical issue. We could claim there's a track problem ahead.
And have emergency vehicles waiting at the last station before the tunnel. Covertly evacuate everyone.
But what about the entity? It will just wait for the next train.
Or worse, adapt again. Find a new way to hunt.
So we need to neutralize it permanently, not just avoid it.
But how? If it's as ancient and powerful as the legends suggest.
And if it can read the intentions of those hunting it.
We're at an impasse. We need more information, a weakness.
Maybe there's something more in Engel's journals. Something we've missed.
Or in the cave where he found it. The source.
It's too dangerous to go there. If this thing is real, and as powerful as we think.
But what choice do we have? We can't let it keep taking people.
Agreed.
Whatever you decide, be careful and never go alone. That's how it hunts. That's how it wins.
Then we stay together, and we find a way to stop this thing. Mr. Keller, this is Inspector Harlow Mason. I need to speak with you regarding your former employment at Millhaven Transit Authority.
How did you get this number?
Police resources, Mr. Keller. This is an official investigation.
Let me guess. You think I have something to do with the missing trains? Because I was fired. Classic lazy police work. Go get your donuts and leave me alone, pig.
Actually, no. I believe you were fired because you discovered something the company wanted to keep hidden.
Go on.
I've been investigating the disappearances, and I've come across some readings that might interest you.
Where did you get this? These are my readings from 6 months ago.
Nope. These are actually from the last known location of train 715, before it vanished 2 weeks ago.
It's the same pattern. Exactly the same. So they're still happening?
Not only still happening, but growing stronger. 3 trains have disappeared now.
And let me guess. The company is covering it up, calling it routing errors or maintenance issues.
Precisely, which is why I need your help.
Why should I help them? They destroyed my career, called me unstable, paranoid.
You're not helping them. You're helping me, and potentially saving lives.
What makes you think I know anything?
Because you were tracking these anomalies before anyone else. You submitted reports that were buried. You knew something was wrong with that tunnel.
I've been monitoring the trains after hours from my home setup.
And?
I've captured transmissions, fragmented, distorted, but definitely coming from the missing trains.
Can you share them?
I'll send you a sample over on email.
God, those sounds.
Human screams, mixed with mechanical noises. But there's something else, a pattern underneath. Here's the spectral analysis. See those energy signatures? They shouldn't exist. No known technology creates those patterns.
Are you familiar with Thomas Engel?
The engineer from the 40s? Of course. His work on locomotive design was revolutionary, but mostly forgotten.
We've uncovered some of his personal journals. He was working on something beyond conventional engineering.
I know. I found his technical diagrams, hidden in the company archives before they fired me.
What did they show?
Modifications to train engines, bizarre alterations that made no sense. Until
what?
Until you consider he was trying to create a vessel, a housing for something non-mechanical. The diagrams showed modifications that would theoretically allow a train to house a conscious entity.
That matches what we found in his journals.
There's something else, something I haven't told anyone.
I'm listening.
Since I started investigating these signals, I've been having dreams, a voice, childlike but tortured, calling to me from train tunnels, showing me visions.
Visions of what?
Becoming part of something it calls magnificent. Steel and flesh combined. It's getting harder to distinguish from reality.
You're not the only one experiencing this. Others have reported similar dreams.
So I'm not crazy?
No, Mr. Keller, you're not crazy. Florence, I've made contact with Jason Keller.
The Jason Keller? The technician who was fired for spreading conspiracy theories?
They weren't theories. They were documented anomalies that your company chose to ignore.
Those reports were deemed inconclusive and alarmist.
They were accurate, as the missing trains have proven.
You can't possibly blame us for not acting on ambiguous readings.
3 trains are gone. People are dead. Because no one listened.
Enough! We don't have time for this. Florence, Jason has been monitoring transmissions from the missing trains and detected patterns consistent with our investigation.
Fine. What have you found, Mr. Keller?
Another signal is activating, right now.
Huh?
It means your next train is already being influenced, before it's even departed.
That train doesn't leave until tomorrow night, and we're already going to observe that one.
Then that just confirms it.
Indeed. Then we need to move quickly. Jason, can you create some kind of remote monitoring system? Something we can place on the train to track it even if it goes off the grid?
Technically, yes. I've been developing something after analyzing the previous disappearances.
You want to put unauthorized equipment on one of our trains?
Would you prefer losing another train, Florence?
No.
I'll need to handle the technical aspects alone. Any technology brought within the creature's influence could be corrupted, especially if multiple people are involved in its creation.
Why?
Based on the survivor accounts, this entity seems to be able to access minds. The more minds connected to a single device, the more vulnerable that device becomes.
That makes no sense.
Neither does a prehistoric creature hijacking trains. Yet here we are.
He has a point. What do you need from us?
Access to the train depot, tonight. I need to install the monitoring devices before anyone else boards.
I can provide access credentials, but this is highly irregular and against every protocol we have.
I'll get official authorization, or at least something close enough. We're beyond protocols at this point.
I'll also need the exact specs for Train 422. Systems, layouts, maintenance history, everything.
I can get that information. But Jason, if this is some kind of revenge plot against the company...
This is about stopping whatever's taking these trains. Nothing more. I don't care about revenge. I care about the fact that I've been having nightmares for 6 months. About something that wants me to join it. I want my life back.
We all want the same thing here, to stop these disappearances and find out what happened to the missing people.
If there's still people.
What does that mean?
The transmissions I've intercepted, they don't sound entirely human anymore.
Let's focus on stopping the next incident. We can worry about rescue operations after. Jason, how soon can you have your monitoring system ready?
I've already built the prototype. Just need to calibrate it for this specific train. Give me a few hours to get it running properly. I've finalized the tracking device. This will operate completely independently from the train's systems, separate power source, encrypted signal transmission, and multiple redundancies.
The design looks sound. How many do you need to install?
Minimum of 5. 1 in the engine compartment, 1 in the conductor's cabin, and 3 distributed throughout passenger cars, preferably at endpoints and middle.
When do you need access to install them?
Tonight, after maintenance hours, but before morning prep.
I can arrange for you to access an empty train car from 2 a.m. to 5 a.m., but we'll need to be discreet. I'm sending you the schematics now on email.
Perfect.
I've got some additional equipment from our department. Surveillance cameras that don't rely on standard frequencies. We can integrate these with your tracking system.
Excellent. The less we rely on conventional technology, the better.
My superior superiors have authorized a minimal operation, though they remain skeptical about our creature theory. They're calling it a possible terrorist situation.
What about canceling the train entirely? Wouldn't that be safer?
If we cancel this train, the entity will just wait for the next one. We need to track it to its lair, end this permanently.
But we're putting passengers at risk.
We're putting them at risk if we do nothing. How many more trains will disappear?
Florence is right about the risk, but Mason is right about needing to end this. We can evacuate the train at the last moment.
That would cause panic.
Better panic than disappearance.
I have another idea. What if we use a decoy train? No passengers, just us.
Too suspicious. The entity seems intelligent enough to recognize a trap. It might not take the bait.
I agree. We need this to appear as normal as possible, while we monitor closely.
I've been researching protective measures based on indigenous accounts. Some fragments I've found mention materials that might repel the creature.
What kind of materials?
Iron oxide compounds primarily. The tribes lined their sacred spaces with red ochre, believing its properties prevented the isolator from entering.
That's actually useful. I can add iron oxide compounds to the tracking device casing. The molecular structure might disrupt its ability to sense electronics.
Would it work against a creature that's part mechanical now?
Unknown, but the legends say it adapts by absorbing, not by changing its core nature.
It's worth trying. Better than nothing.
I'll make the modifications. Should only take a few more hours.
Wait a minute. This isn't right.
What is it?
Someone has overridden my scheduling changes. There are more passenger bookings on this train now. Many more.
Can you cancel them?
I'm trying, but the system keeps rejecting my authorization.
Can you contact the passengers directly?
That's the strange part. I'm trying to call the contact numbers listed. They're all disconnected, or wrong numbers, and the addresses don't exist.
It's creating fake passengers.
Or worse, creating reservations for its next victims.
We need to move faster. Jason, how soon can you finish the modifications?
I'll be done in an hour, then heading to the depot for installation.
I'll meet you there with access cards.
No! We should never be in the same location. Remember the survivor's accounts. It isolates its prey. We need to remain separated, at all times. That way our plans can't be disturbed.
He's right. Leave the access cards somewhere secure. We should maintain physical distance.
I'll leave them in locker 42 at Central Station. The code is 7815.
Got it. Once I've installed the devices, we'll need a communication protocol.
Multiple redundant channels. If one goes down, we switch to another. Prearranged schedule.
Exactly. Primary channel encrypted text. Secondary, radio frequency 87.4. Tertiary landline phones only. No mobile calls.
Understood.
I should go now, but please be careful. This entity has survived for centuries. It's patient and cunning.
We will be. Thank you for your help.
Guys, I gotta say something before all this goes down. I kinda feel responsible for all this. For the previous disappearances, I should have noticed something was wrong sooner.
This isn't on you, Florence. Whatever this thing is, it's been manipulating your systems, your company, for months.
Still, those people...
I understand. My daughter takes that train route every Wednesday to visit her mother. She could have been on one of those trains.
We're all connected to this somehow. My nightmares are getting worse, more vivid. Last night I saw it clearly.
Saw what?
A massive serpentine form, wearing a train's face like a mask. A distorted Thomas the Tank Engine, but with rows of metal teeth. And it was beckoning me toward the tunnel, whispering that I'd be part of something magnificent.
That matches what the survivors described, and Eleanor's final messages about her son.
Do you think it's trying to recruit us, or warn us?
Neither. I think it's taunting us, showing us what's coming.
Then we need to be ready, all of us. This ends tomorrow night.
One way or another.
I've created emergency override protocols for the train, if we need to stop it remotely, but I don't know if they'll work once it's changed.
We'll have evacuation teams on standby at the last station before the tunnel, but they won't know the real reason.
What's our signal to evacuate?
If we lose contact with any of the tracking devices, or if the train deviates from its route.
I've programmed the devices to alert automatically if the train's signature begins to change.
Signature?
Its electromagnetic profile. The survivors all describe the train transforming. That transformation should create measurable changes before it's visible to the naked eye.
So we might have some advance warning.
Potentially, yes, but we should all get some rest now. Tomorrow will be challenging.
Agreed. Check in at 0800 hours. And remember, no matter what happens, we stay separated, but connected.
Stay safe, both of you.
You too, Florence.
Good luck to us all. In position at Millhaven Station. Train appears normal. Passengers boarding now.
Monitoring from dispatch center. All systems showing normal operation, though we're experiencing some unexplained power fluctuations.
I'm online. All monitoring devices active and transmitting. No anomalies detected yet.
Passenger count?
42 confirmed. That's well below normal capacity. As expected, of course.
Any recognizable faces? Anyone suspicious?
Nothing from our security review. Just regular commuters.
Train diagnostics are normal. Engine temperature, brake systems, all reading standard.
Good. Keep me posted on any changes. T-minus 10 minutes to departure.
I'm checking conductor authentication. Confirmed William Morris on duty, 15-year veteran, no previous incidents.
I've established baseline readings from all 5 monitoring points. If anything changes, we'll know immediately.
Departure still on schedule?
Yes, departing in 3 minutes.
I've got a visual on it. Everything still looks normal.
And we're moving. Train 422 has departed Millhaven Station. On schedule.
All sensors still reading normal. Tracking signal is strong.
I'm moving to follow-up position at Station 3. We'll continue updates from there.
Copy that. Train is maintaining standard speed. All systems nominal.
Aha! I'm getting something.
Spill it.
Slight anomaly in sensor 3. Engine compartment. Temperature increasing by 2 degrees. Above normal operating parameters.
That's within acceptable range. Could be environmental.
Maybe. I'll keep monitoring.
Any visual changes to the train?
None reported from exterior cameras. Passenger cars look normal.
I've arrived at Station 3. Train should pass through in approximately 12 minutes.
Confirmed. Train on schedule. I think we have a hit.
I see it too. GPS discrepancy.
The train's reported position in our system doesn't match its actual GPS location.
Where is it actually?
Deviating northwest, toward the old forest line, heading directly to those forbidden coordinates.
But our system still shows it on the normal route. Communications are reporting standard operation.
It's falsifying the data, just like the survivors described.
ETA to my position?
According to our system, 8 minutes. But if the GPS is correct, it won't pass your station at all.
I'll verify visually when it should arrive.
Sensor 1 is now showing anomalies, temperature fluctuations, and something else. Some kind of rhythm.
Rhythm?
Like a pulse, a heartbeat, coming from the engine car.
Jesus.
I'm trying to contact the conductor. No response on official channels. Attempting emergency override.
Sensors 4 and 5 are now reading biological signatures. Temperature patterns consistent with, I can't believe I'm saying this, organic activity.
The train is approaching my position. Something's wrong with it. Do you see that? Along the sides?
What are those things? They look like...
Pulsating protrusions. Like the train is growing something.
I've got a response from the conductor, but it's garbled. Audio file attached. Did you hear that? That laughter?
Childlike, just like in my dreams.
The train just passed my position, moving faster than scheduled. And the passengers?
What about them?
I couldn't see them clearly, but they weren't sitting. They were all standing, pressed against the windows, staring out.
Oh crap, the Wi-Fi system just activated. It's not supposed to be operational on this route.
What's it doing?
Sending automated messages. To passengers' phones, I've intercepted one. For your safety and comfort, please proceed to Car 3 for a complimentary refreshment service during our unexpected delay.
It's separating them.
Just like the survivors said, it isolates its prey.
Another message going out now. Passengers in cars 1 and 2, please move to Car 5 for system maintenance checks.
We need to stop this, now.
I'm trying every override code we have. Nothing is working, though.
The train is accelerating, now moving 30% above maximum allowed speed, and the biological signatures are intensifying.
I'm going after it, requesting police helicopter now.
Is that safe?
No, but we can't let it reach the tunnel, not with those people aboard.
Sensor 2 just went offline. Something is happening in the conductor's cabin.
Temperature readings?
Off the scale now, and the heartbeat pattern is spreading. It's throughout the entire train.
Helicopter approved. I'm boarding now. We'll maintain text contact as long as possible.
Please be careful.
All passenger car sensors are showing movement. Not normal passenger movement. More like fluid motion throughout the entire car.
What are you saying?
I think the inside of the train is transforming, becoming something else.
And we're airborne, pursuing train now. Should have visual in approximately 4 minutes.
The train has disappeared from our system completely now, as if it never existed.
But my sensors still have it. It's approaching the forest line, near the tunnel entrance, almost exactly where the other trains vanished.
I have visual contact. Good lord.
What do you see?
The train, it's got a massive snake-like head sticking out the front of it.
I can barely make it out.
It's moving like a snake too. The exterior is rippling, like muscle contractions, and the front, it's reshaped itself.
Into what?
A face. A grotesque smiling face, like that children's character.
Can you see any passengers?
Nothing through the windows. They're covered in some kind of red film now. We're trying to get closer. The pilot is hesitant. Can't blame him.
All remaining sensors are going haywire. The readings don't make sense anymore. It's like the train is both mechanical and biological simultaneously.
We're experiencing electrical problems. Instruments fluctuating. Helicopter isn't responding normally.
Pull back then!
Too late. We're committed now. It's entering the tunnel. No idea how though. The tunnel isn't large enough. It's changing shape to fit, like a liquid. The helicopter is losing power. Communications failing. If we lose contact, east coordinates are 43.8 degrees north, 1 exclamation mark, 1 exclamation mark.
Crap! Mason's signal just cut out.
We need to send help. Search and rescue.
To where? We don't even know exactly where they are.
We have the coordinates. Well, partial coordinates.
Even if we did know, what would we be sending them into?
We can't just do nothing.
All my sensors are dead now. Last reading showed, I don't even know how to describe it, like the train was consuming itself, becoming something else entirely.
What do we do now?
We need to understand what we're dealing with before we lose more people. We need to go to the source.
The tunnel?
Deeper, to the caves Engel found, where this all began.
That's suicide.
We're running out of options and time. The pattern suggests another train will be taken in exactly 1 lunar month.
Unless we stop it first.
Exactly.
I'm still trying, Mason. Mason, if you can read this, we're coming to find you.
Still no sign of Mason. It's been 4 hours, goddammit.
The police helicopter was reported missing. Search and rescue launched. But they're searching the totally wrong area.
Well, we can't control that. They'd never believe us if we told them the truth.
What do you think happened?
Best case, the helicopter crashed and he survived. Worst case, he could have been taken, like the others.
Do you think they're still alive? The passengers from all those trains?
Who knows? The biological readings I was getting suggested some kind of transformation, not destruction.
That's almost worse. Being kept alive, but deformed against your will.
The entity seems to absorb, incorporate, not just kill.
So all those people could be part of it now?
It's possible.
God, that's hellish.
Wait, I'm getting something.
From Mason?
Yeah, just came through. It's coordinates and a message. Help me! Thank God he's alive. I'm tracing the number as we speak. It's no way.
What?
It's coming from tracker number 7, one of the devices I planted on the train. It's still active.
Where?
Deep in the wilderness. Near the old mining territory. Stationary now.
Maybe he found the tracker, managed to activate its emergency beacon. So what do?
We need more information. Before we do anything rash, I'm going to try to access any other dormant monitoring devices in that area.
I'll use my clearance to get satellite imagery. See what's happening on the ground.
Go for it.
I've got satellite imagery. This is thermal imaging of the coordinates.
That's not right. There shouldn't be heat signatures like that in those parts. It's a restricted zone because of the cave opening.
Exactly. So whatever's down there, it's massive and hot.
I've managed to reactivate some seismic sensors. They were installed years ago to monitor mining activity, and they're picking up pulsations, all in regular intervals, like an enormous heartbeat.
But the size of this thing, it would have to be.
Yup, massive.
No signs of the train itself. At least nothing train-shaped on the surface.
Hold that thought. I think I've got a hit. One of Mason's surveillance devices. It uploaded corrupted images before going offline.
Can you recover any of it?
Working on it. It's badly damaged, but I'm getting fragments.
That's Mason.
He found something. An entrance to what looks like some kind of workshop.
In the abandoned mine?
Yes, Engel's workshop maybe. There's more images too. And from what it looks like, he found Engel's research, the missing pieces.
Can you make out any of it?
Just fragments. Prehistoric organism preserved in mineral deposits, ability to incorporate other matter into its cellular structure, possesses rudimentary telepathic capabilities for hunting.
That aligns with everything we've seen, and the indigenous legends.
There's more about Engel himself, but it's heavily corrupted.
I've got an idea. I'm checking something in our company archives. Engel's personnel file. It mentions disciplinary action for unauthorized use of company resources. And there are missing persons reports, filed by families of rail workers, all dismissed due to lack of evidence.
Oh God, he was feeding it.
Using his position to provide victims, while using his engineering knowledge to help it take the form of trains.
That explains the monthly pattern too. It must have hibernation cycles, like a bear or snake. It feeds, then goes dormant. But Engel somehow accelerated its evolution.
By giving it both food and knowledge, a symbiotic relationship.
Until Engel himself disappeared. Probably became food too, once the creature grew strong enough.
Oh, hang on. I'm getting a video through from Mason himself. He must not be able to text us. It looks like he's hiding in some kind of tunnel. He's whispering. I'll transcribe. If anyone receives this, I've found it. The creature's lair. It returns here after feeding. Lives beneath the old mining complex. The missing people. Some of them are still partly alive. Incorporated into its mass. It's growing, evolving, using technology now, lure victims in by pretending to be the train itself. I've found Engel's research too. The creature has a central nucleus. If destroyed, the whole organism dies. But I can't get close enough. It senses my presence whenever I move. I need help. Remote guidance only, though. Don't come here physically. Guide me remotely. Coordinates attached. Hurry!
He's asking us to guide him instead of mounting a rescue?
It makes sense. If the creature isolates its prey, More people would just mean more victims.
We need to establish contact, but securely. I think I can route a signal through the remaining trackers.
I can help navigate the mine layout. We have the original geological surveys.
Good, but we need to be careful. If this thing can mimic communication, how do we know it's really Mason?
The video shows his police badge, and he mentions things only Mason would know.
Still, we should establish a verification protocol, something the creature couldn't know or mimic.
His daughter, he mentioned her earlier. We ask for her name and birthday.
Perfect. I'm establishing contact now, through the tracking device signal. I should be able to talk to him directly this way. Mason, you're one hell of a tank, you know. This is Jason Keller. Are you there?
Keller? Thank God. Is Florence with you?
Yes, but on a separate channel. It will take too much signal to get you back in the group chat for now. Status report, Mason.
Injured but mobile. Hiding in maintenance tunnels. The helicopter crashed about a mile from here. Pilot didn't make it.
Where exactly are you?
Level 3 of the old mine complex. There's a massive chamber here. That's where it lives.
What can you see?
It's like nothing I've ever seen. Part organic, part mechanical. The size of several train cars combined. The missing trains are embedded in it, partially dissolved. And the people.
Are they alive?
Some still have consciousness. I can hear them moaning, calling for help, half absorbed into the mass.
The nucleus that Engel mentioned. Did you locate it?
I think so. There's a central chamber with what looks like the original creature, preserved but alive. Everything else has grown from it.
We're going to help you destroy it, but we need a plan.
I found explosive charges in Engel's workshop. I think he realized his mistake, was planning to destroy it, but never got the chance.
That's our way then. We use the explosives on the nucleus, but you'll need to get close enough.
It can sense movement, especially when I'm afraid. It's like it feeds on fear.
We need a distraction, something to occupy its attention.
Like what?
I have an idea, but I need to coordinate with Florence. Stay hidden. I'll contact you soon.
Hurry! I don't know how much longer I can stay hidden.
Florence, I've made contact with Mason. He's alive but in serious danger.
What's his situation?
Level 3 of the mine complex. The creature's at the bottom of it and it's enormous. Mason found explosives left by Engel, but needs a distraction to get close to the nucleus.
What kind of distraction could work against something like this?
Something technological. The creature has adapted to use and monitor communications, so we overload it.
The train systems. I can remotely activate every system on every train in our network. Emergency protocols, communications, power surges.
1,000 digital voices all at once. It might divide its attention long enough.
I can do it, but I'll need override access, which means going to the main control center.
Is that safe?
Nowhere is safe, but it's our only option.
I'll guide Mason. You create the distraction. We'll coordinate timing precisely.
Tell him to be ready, on my signal. And Jason,
Yes?
if this doesn't work, it's been an honor working with you.
Same here. Let's save the goodbyes for later, though. We have a monster to kill. Mason, are you in position?
At the entrance to the lower tunnels, following your map.
Good. Florence is standing by at the control center, ready to initiate the distraction.
How much time will that buy me?
Minutes at most. This thing is powerful and adaptive.
Minutes might be enough. I think whatever this thing truly is, it's making this thing, its habitat, and it is becoming one with said habitat.
Those are rail components. It's integrated parts of the trains into the tunnel infrastructure.
Like veins, or a nervous system.
Exactly. The entire complex is becoming an extension of it. Proceed carefully.
Which way at the fork?
Let me check the sensors. Left tunnel. The right shows heightened thermal activity. Might be more dangerous.
Left it is then, though nothing feels safe down here. Feels like every surface seems to be watching me.
Florence, status update?
In position at the control center. I've accessed the emergency override systems, ready to activate on your signal.
Perfect. Mason is making his way toward the central chamber, but communications are becoming difficult.
The creature might be catching on. Is he following our mapped route?
So far. Can you see anything on the station cameras?
Nothing unusual, but I'm more concerned about what's happening underground.
Me too. Stand by for the signal. It shouldn't be long now.
Deeper now. Level 4, I think. The interference is getting worse. Hard to maintain signal.
Try to stay on the stone paths. Avoid touching any metal or organic material. It might sense you through direct contact.
There's less stone and more other stuff as I go deeper. Can you see this?
My God.
It's a nightmare down here. Parts of trains, parts of people, all fused together.
Do you see the nucleus? Helena's research suggests it would be glowing. The original organism?
I think so. At the center, protected by layers of... I don't even have words for it.
Can you get closer?
I'm trying, but I have to move slowly. Sound echoes down here.
What about Engel's equipment? Do you see anything that could help?
There's some kind of device near the chamber entrance. Looks like it was designed to communicate with it.
That might be useful. According to the corrupted files I recovered, Engel created a resonance device to strengthen his connection to the entity, but it could be reversed.
To harm it instead?
Exactly. A destructive frequency. Target the nucleus with it.
I'll try. The device is still operational, but I need to get closer to the nucleus.
Florence, we're almost ready. Mason has found Engel's device and located the nucleus.
The distraction is prepared. Just say when.
Something's wrong. Mason's signal's getting weaker and more corrupted.
The creature might be interfering. It also might know what we're doing.
We need to move now. Initiate the distraction. Full system override.
Executing now. All systems activated. Every train in the network is sending emergency signals. Communications, power surges, everything.
Perfect. That should divide its attention. Mason, the distraction is live. You have maybe 5 to 10 minutes. Move now.
Dear Christ, the mass is shifting. Parts of it are separating, like it's confused.
That's our distraction working. Get to the nucleus. Now!
Moving. The device is heavy, but I've got it. Approaching the central chamber.
What do you see?
It's there, the nucleus, embedded in what was once a train engine. Now it looks like a grotesque human torso with a glowing core.
That's it. Set up the device. Point it directly at the glowing part.
Working on it.
Crap! The distraction isn't holding its attention. It knows you're there. It's coming back. Drone footage incoming. Hurry!
I'm trying! Oh no, the device. It just broke.
No. Then we abandon the original plan. What other options do we have?
There's one, the old mining operation. It was abandoned because of flooding. There are emergency flood tunnels that were sealed.
And they could be reopened?
Yes, but I'd need Florence to override the flood prevention systems from the control center.
Hold on. I'll connect you both. Change of plans. The creature is coming back and the device failed. Mason needs you to override the flood prevention systems. But the signal's back. He can talk on the group chat again.
Flood the tunnels? But Mason is down there.
It's the only way I can get to a specific chamber with the nucleus, but I need the water to destroy it before it relocates.
You'll be killed.
Better me than more innocent people. I've seen what this thing does, what it's planning. It wants to expand, take over more trains, more networks.
There has to be another way.
There isn't. I'm sending coordinates now. 42.775 degrees north, 109.224 degrees west. That's the chamber. Override flood protocol XTR7734. It will flood this entire level and hopefully destroy the nucleus.
I found the protocol. But Mason...
Do it, Florence. Please!
Mason, think of your daughter.
Oh, trust me. I am. That's why I have to stop this, so it never reaches her. I'm in position, at the chamber. The nucleus is here, floating in some kind of fluid. Do it now! Flood it!
God forgive me. Executing override.
The creature's emerging at the train station. It's going after all the people there. It's revealed itself. The override needs to hurry.
Die!
Massive readings from the complex. And now, nothing. All sensors dead.
Mason? Mason, are you there?
The signal's gone. Everything's gone.
But that bastard. It's slumped next to the side of the platform. It's dead. It's been a month.
Correct. No disappearances, no anomalous readings, nothing. This is all because of Mason.
Only at a terrible cost.
He saved countless lives, though, including ours.
I still see his face in my dreams. But it's peaceful now, not afraid.
The recovery team found the helicopter, but no sign of Mason or the creature.
Maybe it's better that way. Some things shouldn't be found.
The tunnels remain flooded by order of the authorities after we submitted a modified report.
What will you do now?
Continue monitoring, just to be sure. You?
Help implement new safety protocols. Make sure nothing like this happens again. And remember that not all monsters are myths, and not all heroes wear uniforms.
He was a good man. In the end, he chose humanity over his daughter, over his life.
That's all any of us can hope to do. When faced with the impossible, make the right choice.
For whatever it's worth, I think we did. Good night, Florence.
Good night, Jason, and thank you for helping kill this thing. Now, we better finish planning his funeral. The rescue team just recovered the body. Let's give him the resting place he deserves.